the channel, and thanks for watching so far and for all of your comments. It means a lot. Now, in episode 2, I did mention I would describe how I de-ghettoed my helmet, got rid of tape and everything in episode 3, but that would have made that episode quite a bit longer than it actually was. So I thought I'd best leave that till later. And if you have asked, what do I use to record the footage? How do I mount it on the bike or my helmet? So this is going to be that episode. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. So in the very first video I did, it was a GoPro 8 and it was held on with a mount that strapped around through under the visor and everything, and it did tend to wobble a bit. This uses a chin mount from a company called Chin Mounts, and it uses some pretty serious double-sided glue to hold it in place, that tape stuff. And yeah, it's not going anywhere. So the GoPro 9, it actually has the max lens mod on at the moment. The second video didn't use that, it uses the normal lens. So instead of being taped on, and the first time this unit, because the GoPros need the USB-C to have the extension mic connection to them, because I use a power-to-wise lavalier mic in the helmet, and when I'm walking around basically and wanting to do a voiceover, if I'm doing voiceovers on the computer, I use a Blue Yeti, which is a way bigger microphone, but for just doing the video logging, it uses the lavalier in the helmet. So this is a Shoei GT Air, which already has a Sena built-in Bluetooth setup. So it's got helmet speakers on either side. It's got a microphone down here, and you'll be able to see, should be able to see in there that there are two microphones. There's the one for the Sena, and then there's the lavalier that goes into the GoPro. So before, the first time I used it, this was basically cable tied on. So there was two cable ties that went around there, but in putting that on my head, it scratched my forehead and made it bleed because the cable tie pieces were just in the wrong place where the joint, because a single one didn't fit, so they had to have two on each. So that was stupid, which is why it had tape on the next time, which you saw in the video. So that was pretty ordinary. But now it's all routed inside the helmet. So the first two times, the bulk of this was basically just stuffed up in there, and it wasn't great. It was not a good experience for me, and it wasn't great for you. And now, it's got this. So now it's got this 3M dual lock plastic type Velcro, which is just really strong, and that's not going anywhere. This is not going anywhere. And now the cables are actually routed up into the helmet proper. So you can probably see down in there some cable up behind the headliner. You can see down in here that the cable routes in behind the cheek liner on this side, because the GoPro basically comes on this side and I've got the microphone over on this side because it just worked better that way. It managed to use the Sena microphone mount as a way of holding the other microphone in place, which all worked out pretty well. So yeah, so that is a better approach than what I was using before. And the GoPro 9, the horizon leveling, everything works pretty good. But I will show you how much more horizon leveling can be done when you use the max lens mod. So the max lens mod basically does proper horizon leveling. So you'll see that is just not going to move. Now, if you turn that off, it gives you stabilization, but it does rotate. But when you turn that on, it's pretty good. So we will work out whether that is better for filming on the next ride. So yeah, there you have it. That's how we fixed things. I also noticed that because you have to take the side door off to get this USB-C connector in, I was a bit worried the battery would fly out, but this is basically the little plastic nub that goes inside a GoPro mount. And all I've done is trim it off, and it fits in there just perfect, and it's not coming out. Look, to be fair, they hold on pretty well. If you're taking a hit on a motorcycle that's big enough to dislodge that battery, you've got bigger problems. But still, let's have a little bit of insurance. So in this second half of the video, I'll just list through a few other things that I use when I'm actually creating content, whether it is for this channel or for other things. You did see in the background earlier on that HP Spectre X360 Ultrabook, which had made and rendered the first 3 videos on this particular channel and a bunch of others. But the reality is an Ultrabook's performance with integrated graphics, when you're doing things like blur masking a speedo, which you saw a bit of, that would take 3 seconds per frame to basically track that, which was just taking forever. So here, basically we'll be doing more editing on this, which is a Legion 5 Pro Lenovo gaming laptop with a dedicated graphics 3700, an NVIDIA 3070 GPU on board, so that's way better at it. Other things I use, so basically I mentioned before, there's a Blue Yeti USB mic here that we use for sitting at the desk and doing voiceovers. I do, if I'm capturing audio and I'm away from the camera, use a Rode Wireless Go 2. There's probably a number of people going, well, the DJI mic has got a touch screen, is newer and better and everything, but last I checked they were still pre-order for over $500 Australian, and I think I paid about $275 for the Wireless Go, which is pretty good. And we've talked about different GoPros. I have way too much GoPro stuff, like way too much when you start looking at mounts and chest mounts and hand mounts and helmet mounts and various other bits and pieces, but that's kind of how it goes. Some Bose wireless Bluetooth headsets for listening back some of the audio. If I need to do anything graphical with a pencil, I'll use the iPad. There was some drone footage in video 3 at the very beginning. I've had that Mavic for, well, pretty much nearly 5 years since they first came out. I've avoided upgrading because it still does 4K 30 frames. Will do 1080p 120, I think, or 1080p 60, I'll have to check. And can still take a 128 gig micro SD card. Flies great. I have too much DJI stuff, so I have primary controller and I have secondary controller and I have FPV goggles and everything else that you might expect. I have indoor bumpers so you can fly it around safely inside. I basically can strap it in there and use it as a steady cam. This, not so much anymore because GoPros do a great job with software in that regard. So yeah, a lot of stuff to actually make decent content, which a number of you have said you quite like. So we'll keep doing it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. The next one being what it's like to ride the Rocket in traffic. Thanks for watching. Okay. So the first 2 times, hold on 1 second. Well done, son, well done.